Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's around 2 o'clock Saturday now, and I'm starting to tackle my to-do list. I was waiting for some laundry to be done so I could take a shower quickly and get some clothes on. So now I'm heading out because I'm about to start when I get home. I do have to clean the living room and the kitchen, and then I'm going to set up because I'm going to film like a part of a cookie collab that Dee over at Dee Lovely Life is hosting. So the video will already be up on the channel by the time you're seeing this. So I have a few things on that list that I still have to pick up to make my millionaire shortbread. It's a recipe. Well, the millionaire shortbread my grandmother used to make. This recipe I've just found online that looks very similar to what she had. So I'm going to make that as part of the collab. I will have the link above so you can click over and find out how I make it. And yeah, so I have to run out, grab a few groceries. It is snowing / hailing. It's little ice balls, so I guess it's, or snowballs. So it's more of a hail sort of coming down. It's very light. So before it gets worse, I'm going to head out and get what I need and then tackle my list as I get home. A few bits of decor still to put up, and most of it's up finally. So I would like to film tonight some of my decor, so that video is ready to go as well. So anyway, enough talking. It's been a minute and a half now, so it's off to go get some groceries, and then I think I have a few Christmas items possibly to pick up if I can find them at this local place that is having a sale. Well, things always seem to take longer than you expect them to. I wanted to be home in an hour and a half. We're sitting at 2.5 hours since I left. It took 6 stores to find the corn syrup that I needed. And I did pick up some Christmas presents, so that's good. I got a good chunk of our groceries for this week. I think it'll be just like maybe some lettuce and maybe some fill-ins for some other meals and things. But holy smokes, 6 stores for 1 bottle of corn syrup. I know corn syrup isn't that great of a thing to eat, but the recipe calls for it. So I couldn't even find agave until the last store either. So I guess everybody's baking today. Anyway, I have all the groceries. I'm gonna go put them away, and I'm gonna start on supper. We're making Instapot taco soup. So this is the taco soup I'm making. It's actually out of the Pioneer Women's Cookbook. This is the second time we're making it. It's actually really, really good. And actually, but we actually use ground chicken because we don't usually have ground beef. So I've browned the chicken, and I've just added the onions and the garlic, chopped up fresh. And I'm about to chop this up and add this pepper in as well. Having a little tea break as that's going. I haven't had this kind before, so we'll see how it goes, what it tastes like. I just got it here steeping. It says it's a black tea that has cinnamon and cloves. So hopefully it'll be nice. I think it will be. So the last time I made this, I had bought some of these, Bold and Bake. There's sweet chili, nacho cheese, and then ranch. We had the chili and the nacho cheese before. Rob really liked this one. I preferred that one. But we haven't had the ranch before. So it was something a little different than tortilla chips. So we had that with the taco soup, which I think is just about ready now. Okay, so this is it here. I am missing the black beans it calls for because I thought I had some here and turned out I didn't have any more, so I'll have to put that on the grocery order for later on in the week to put back in the pantry. So everything else is in it, and that is it there. And it really, when you add sour cream to it in your bowl and then with some cheese, but the sour cream, it just adds that extra little dimension to it, and it is so, so good. Yay for clean kitchen. This is what I spent my evening doing after we had something to eat, getting the kitchen all back in order. However, the rest of this place is still a mess. So I'm gonna see if I can do something with this. There's some like wrapping paper stuff like that, but I still have not done anything for like a centerpiece. I did buy this candle yesterday, so I think I might just put that in the center, but I'll see what I come up with. Okay, so there it is there. That is much better. That's what I decided to go with this year. Is just do the plaid placemats, and then these placemats, they're kind of more like corky. And that's actually Gaelic, Nawak Hana, which means Happy Christmas. And normally I would say Nawak Creole, which is Heart of Christmas. But I think this is more of like the Irish way. But if anybody speaks Irish Gaelic, let me know. Is that more Irish? But anyway, that's it. That's how I did it here. I just did the place settings there, and nice and simple. This is still a mess, but I think I'm going to call it a night. Good morning, everyone. So I'm back in my kitchen, and I'm about to roast some butternut squash. I'm going to make a butternut squash soup today. And I also have to film my cookie collab video with Dee. I meant to do it yesterday, but the day got away from me, so I'm doing it now. So I just need to get the squash in the oven, and then I can prep for the cookie collab, which is, I think I said this earlier, but millionaire shortbread is what I'm making, and it's something my grandmother used to make a lot around Christmas. And so I've not made it. I've seen her make it. I found a recipe online that has some really good reviews, so I'm going to give it a try. But first, my squash has to roast about 40 to 50 minutes, so I'm going to cut it up and slice it and prep it for the oven and stick it in the oven and do that first. All right, so I've just prepped it. I've gutted it out, put some olive oil on it, spread it all in, a little bit of salt and pepper. Now it's going to go in the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes. At 425 until it's nice, cooked, tender. So this is the recipe I'm doing for the collab. I will link it down below. The only change I'm making is I'm not going to put salt on top of it because my grandmother never did that, and I don't always like that salty taste on top of my chocolate. So that's the recipe. I will link the whole video, and you can check out the whole collab so you can find it all there down in the description box. And so I'm just going to get into it. The first thing I have to do obviously is the shortbread crust. So the millionaire shortbread is in the fridge right now, and so it has about 40 minutes left to go at least, just to stiffen up. I've washed all the dishes, so they're all done. You can see the camera behind me from where it was. And now I'm going to finish doing the butternut squash soup. So the squash should be coming out of the oven now. I did take it out earlier because I needed to put the shortbread in, but it wasn't quite done, so I stuck it back in to finish cooking. And so this is the recipe I'm using. I found online. I will link it down below. And so right now I need to chop up, it calls for shallots. I don't have a shallot, so I'm just going to use a small onion. And I need to chop up some garlic and get that prepped with some olive oil in the pan, and I'll start making that. Okay, so in the recipe it says to now put this in the blender. I've kind of sauteed up the carrots, the onions, and the garlic. It says to put in the blender, but I'm going to use an immersion blender, so it's just going to use less dishes. So right now I'm going to scoop out the squash and put it in here and add the broth and the maple syrup, the nutmeg. I'm not sure if there's another spice or not. I'll have to check. Okay, so I've added the nutmeg and the maple syrup and some pepper in there. Just gave it a good stir around so it starts to mix. So now I'm going to add the chicken stock and then use my immersion blender and then just mix this all up. Alright, so that is it all pureed up now, and I've added 2 tablespoons of butter that's just melted in there now. So it's all ready to go. You can add a little bit more salt or pepper to your taste. But for me right now, this is done. So it's ready to serve up. Okay, so I put it in for 30 minutes, but I don't think our fridge is quite cold enough, so I tried putting it in the freezer. So I had to move things around because our freezer is very narrow. It barely fit the pan in. So I'm gonna put it in for 30 minutes in the freezer, those squares, I should say, just to get the chocolate to harden up before I can cut it. But right now I'm going to go through the living room here and tidy it all up. So this is the state of the living room at the moment. So I just want to hang some of those coats up, place the blanket, organize this into some sort of better, prettier thing. This is actually our like advent calendar. It is like Japanese snacks, and I've wrapped them up so he gets to open one every day really leading up to Christmas. And yeah, this is just a little bit of extra wrapping things that shouldn't be there. So I'm just gonna go get this put away. Actually, I might shoot very quickly outside while we still have some light, just so you can see what the outside looks like for the few decorations, and then I'll show the inside. There's the shortbread, all done. That was definitely a labor of love. So make sure you go check the video out so you can see me make it and go through the whole process, and the recipe will be there as well. It is supper time now. So I've got some rice cooking there. Decided to just do it on the stove tonight instead of doing it in our rice cooker. And I'm heating up the leftover taco soup. It's gotten quite thick, so I mean, I can always like add some broth and thin it back out, but I think we're gonna actually add it and serve it over the rice, and that will be supper tonight. All right, so that's it there. We just poured it over some rice, and so it's almost like a chili on top, a little bit of a taco bowl going on there, but that is supper. So I'm just sitting down now to edit the video because it goes live tomorrow for the collab. So I'm hoping I can get this done in about 20 minutes time, because then we're gonna go watch It's a Wonderful Life. So we're gonna head down now and watch a show or watch a movie. I'm not sure yet. It's a little bit later than I intended to go downstairs. It took a little bit longer to edit. So I'm gonna leave this here for this evening. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and be well. And until next time, bye.